Over the weekend, I had the really fun experience to participate in the second ever WoW Classic Hardcore Community Cup. This event was spearheaded by Kargaz and the team over at classicwow.live. It was an 8-hour leveling event that spanned from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. In essence, you had to create a new character and see how far you could get in those 8 hours. But the big catch? If you die, you're out. There are a bunch of other rules too, like you can't use the auction house, or trade, or party with other players, and more. But the biggest in my mind is obviously the death equals delete rule. I missed the first Community Cup event. I think I was at PAX East when it went down, so I didn't want to miss the opportunity to participate in another one. I've never really entered any sort of leveling competition before, but I had practiced the hardcore challenge a little bit previously with another paladin that I got to level 17, and actually I haven't died yet on that character either. I also practiced leveling routes a lot before Classic came out, especially during the WoW Classic demo in the Elwyn Forest with humans, so I'm pretty familiar with getting to at least level 1 to 12 pretty efficiently. My goal in mind with this tourney was to have fun and try not to die. I didn't expect to win or get first place. I took breaks when I needed and truly did just have fun and was happy to be a part of the event. I love any sort of event related to WoW Classic that brings the community together. This challenge is something different from the norm, and if you feel like you've hit a wall or have gotten bored in between content phases, this challenge might be good for you. I've listed a few links in the description of this video, so if you'd like to learn more about the challenge and the rules, please check them out below. Keep in mind, you can create a hardcore character at any time that you'd like. If you want to make one right now, you can. This event, however, was a special gathering where we all started fresh characters and had 8 hours. Honestly, it reminded me a lot of the WoW Classic launch and the stress tests that we conducted. Seeing the starting zones full of fresh level 1s, fighting for mob tags, trying to get out of that early bottleneck as much as possible, it really brought back some good memories. Of course, I made a paladin. Some people ask me why, they're slow levelers, etc, but the thing is, to me, this is a marathon, not a sprint. I wanted to go for longevity and survivability. Collecting all male gear early on, paired up with devotion aura of course, having a high armor count, equipping a shield and a one-hander made me pretty beefy. I also had a lot of safety buttons that I get early on. My bubble, blessing of protection, lay on hands. Oh, and I went with herbalism and alchemy too, so that I could make potions to help buff myself as well. So overall, I think the tournament was a huge success. All participants are required to live stream so that their non-death footage could be verifiable. If for some reason you absolutely cannot stream, I think you could record your gameplay locally if it has to come down to that, but ideally you do want to be streaming it. They had live event coverage on Kargaz's live stream, so basically up to 4 commentators going through, switching between the different live streams of the participants, and commentating on it. The casters I tuned in to see were Kargaz, Defcamp, Melderon, Dokken, and Platinum. So if anybody else was on there, shout out to them as well, but these guys sat down for over 9 hours going over the event. And I really gotta give these guys props, because they had the exact same excitement and enthusiasm from watching them on the first hour all the way through until the end. And that's something I love about this type of community event. You could tell that all these guys are passionate and genuinely excited about the game. I live streamed my entire gameplay over 8 hours, and I'm proud to say that I did not die. I think surviving the full 8 hours was an accomplishment in its own. I got to level 16 in those 8 hours, and I believe I was second place for Paladin, but I'm not really sure. I couldn't find any other Pallies who were higher level than me. But shout out to Blorby, who won it for the Paladins, making us all proud, getting to level 18.95, so basically level 19 in 8 hours. What a beast. The top 3 winners, overall for speed, however, were Zerant, a level 21 hunter, Thiddy, an almost level 21 rogue, and Iron Chump, a level 19.5 warrior. And here's the summary for the class leads. Mage lead, we got Koiv, we got Paladin lead Blorby, as we said, the Priest lead Sola, Shaman lead Jamin, Druid lead Graze for Days, and the Warlock lead Peekaboo. So, grats to everybody, and really well done, and really gives us something to look forward to for the next competition, ways that we could strive to level a little bit quicker and aim a little bit higher, so really excited about that. So, some more thoughts on the actual event. Here's some advice I can give for somebody new who's just starting out. I came up with 5 bullet points. Number 1, plan your route. You don't have to exactly plan your every move, but you should have a general idea of where you're going at each level. When I tested leveling in the Elwyn Forest during the WoW Classic demo, getting to level 10 in about 2 hours seemed like a nice goal. Number 2, know where you are leveling. Caves, mines, murloc areas, knoll camps, etc. are generally red flag areas that you need to watch out for. Take note of those areas in each zone that you plan to level in. Do you have a quest in a mine? Should you skip it? Think about things like that. 3. Stay ahead of the curve. Check out the level of the mobs in the zones that you plan to level in. I tended to stay in certain areas just a little bit longer. I ideally wanted to be at least 2 levels higher than the mobs I was fighting. Therefore, I could easily take on 2 or 3 mobs at once if the situation called for it. 3 mobs are not ideal, but I'd still be able to manage to get my way out of it. So again, maybe you need to grind on some boars just to get that extra level before you move on to the next area. So just ensure that you're a level or 2 higher. So definitely pay attention to the level that you currently are at versus the level of the mobs in the zone that you are in. Number 4, mob awareness. Be aware of abilities that mobs around you have. Can they heal? Can they kick / interrupt one of your heals and silence you? Can they root you? These are all things to be aware of and take into consideration. Any sort of oracle type murloc I try to avoid. Not only could they run away and heal, but they could also return with some friends. Number 5, professions. The 2 professions that I think could be the most valuable in a tourney like this are herbalism and alchemy. All of the low-level pots can stack together. Minor defense, lion strength, fortitude, troll's blood potion, and not to mention you can make health and mana pots too. One thing I will say though, when time is of the essence and you're going for speed, professions and gathering could slow you down a bit, but it could also greatly contribute to your survivability. So weigh out the options for what you think is best. During the 8-hour tourney, it's definitely something to consider. If you're just doing the regular hardcore challenge on your own time though, I'd strongly encourage these 2 professions seeing as you're not on a time limit. So those are my thoughts on the hardcore challenge so far. Remember, you can create a hardcore character at any time you want. I believe that they want to try to host these tourneys on a monthly basis, so it's up to you, the community, to take part in it and keep it going. Again, I've left links in the description of this video where you can learn more information, sign up, register, read the rules, etc, etc. And again, big shout out to all of the organizers and guys out there who made this possible, Cargaz, classicwow.live, the entire team. Thank you guys for all the hard work and passion that you put into Classic. And I'll see you guys at the next tournament. As always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Classic WoW content. Thank you so much to our Patreon supporters for encouraging us to keep up with this content as well. And there are other social links below in the description of this video. I hope you're all being safe out there and have a great day.